Hello everybody and welcome to this playthrough with the tournament win for the Gokasho 9-hole cup here in Golf Clash the game, video sponsored by Golf Clash and Playdemic, and we are early with the playthrough for the 9-hole cup to give you the best possible start, because in a 9-hole cup the tiebreaker is so important and we only have 2 qualifying days. Make sure you do subscribe to the channel and support the channel. It doesn't cost you anything to become a subscriber. Click the button in the bottom right corner. Also, you can go to golfclashtommy.com to find more Golf Clash content for tour play, tournament play, golden shot, whatever you are searching for. Last but not least, get our very valuable guides for tour and tournament play on patreon.com/golfclashtommy. Make sure you check out through the link in the description down below. Follow the info box on the right hand side to get the elevation adjustment combined with the club distance adjustment, ball and club that I suggest you to play with. Have in mind that you don't have to follow what I do suggest, but there's always a plan behind it. Last but not least, can we get some thumbs up as well? Can we get this video up to 300 thumbs up? That would be insane and I would be very thankful. In the end though, let's go to hole number 1. For hole number 1, we are playing with our quarterback, and I'm going to use a power 3 ball here to make sure that we don't have to overpower our shot that much. Sure, we could debate the fact that maybe we should pick another driver, so we make sure to not have to go with overpower whatsoever, especially those of you playing with a quarterback level 8 or below, as he doesn't have that much power as a quarterback level 9 or level 10. Blue ring by the rough line, adjust is going to be maximum distance plus 10. Ball just outside the adjustment ring to the left when it comes to curl, and then I'm adding just a tiny little bit of overpower just to compensate for the amount that we're going in to overpower with our adjustment. So in the end though, overpower with the quarterback will not be that hard, but at the same time it's just unnecessary to have to do that. Second shot is going to be played close to medium distance, and the thing that I'm looking for here is to go for a rough bump where I'm going to aim for the top of the rough, if that makes sense, like for the start of the rough. The ball guideline is just through the hole, and we will be applying, in this case, I'm playing a 44% slider, which gives me a 5.1 ring adjustment. The thing that we do need to have in mind here though is that I will be missing this hole to the left and also go a bit short. What do we have to do in this scenario though? We do need to add side spin, so we do have the ball guideline to go just right of the pin, combined with top spin that the ball guideline go a little bit more through the hole, if that makes sense, or past the pin, because you can see that the line is nice, but we turn a little left, need a little bit more right, need a little bit more top spin, then we're gonna be there. Those of you that don't feel comfortable with the rough bump, also those of you having a sniper 8 or below that cannot go for the rough bump, then you bounce towards the pin like normal. But I do think that the rough bump should be highlighted here, as I do believe that's the best possible chance for us making an eagle. For hole number 2, I will be playing with my sniper level 10. If you do not have a sniper level 9 plus, I would recommend you to play with Guardian. Why? It's because of the backspin. The reason I rather want to go with this type of shot, using 6 bars of backspin and then 1.5 bar of side spin to the right, than bouncing with the Goliath or the Grizzly on the first fairway, is to give ourselves one less bounce into the bumpy area that we do have on this fairway before the green starts. Adjustment, I'm adjusting medium distance plus 10 here, and then we're going to try to hit perfect. And you can notice as well that I offset, I did have the ball guideline to be right side of the pin, and obviously the ball comes in with a good speed, but we are miles off getting this ball to drop for an hole-in-one. So what do? We keep the same spot, we adjust the same thing. The only thing that I want you to do is to go with 2.5 bar side spin to the right instead of the 1.5 bar that we did. And then we're gonna get closer. I do not expect this one to be a shot that's gonna drop all the time. I did explore the sand bump a little bit, but the inconsistency of the sand bump with its ball guideline is going to be very difficult to aim. So, safe route, we're getting the birdie with some possibility getting an albatross. Getting a hole-in-one, obviously, not an albatross. That's not possible on a hole-in-one. For hole number 3, I decide to go with a Titan. There is no need, in my opinion, to go with a Kingmaker here, as reducing the wind is something that we do need, especially in headwind. So 4.5 bar topspin, 1 bar of side spin to the left. And now look at my second bounce. I want the second bounce to be just above when it clips by the rough. And the reason for that is that we do have an extended ball guideline in tailwind that we do need to adjust for, because our bounce is going to be longer than what it shows. And why is that then? It's because that tailwind is pushing the ball when it hits the ground, pushing it more forward, and you're going to notice that we're going to be nowhere near the rough with our second bounce now when it hits. You see here bounce, you see we're nowhere near the rough. We have like 2-3 rings of margin, and importance is obviously to not go too far, and that's why we are having the position that we do have. From 370 yards, we do play medium distance, no elevation. I do like how this ball is coming in towards the pin. However, though, we do miss a little bit to the left. So the thing that I can think of here and say to you is that we should be going with a pull angle in a slight different way. Half a bar of topspin, you can see that we do have a little glitchy ball guideline. You do want to have the ball guideline when it doesn't show the more extended version of the ball guideline, if that makes sense. Once again, 7.4 miles per hour. You can see here that we are trying to have such a straight pull angle possible, but I want you to have a slight 1201 when you do pull for this shot, just to make sure that we are gonna have the ball coming towards the pin instead of missing to the left. Perfect ball, and we see the ball here coming in with a good speed, but we do miss to the left here. We do need to have that slight 1201 pull angle to make sure that we can correct the way that the ball is coming in towards the rough. Really good chance, in my opinion, making an albatross here in hole number 3. For hole number 4, we're going to have a good chance, in my opinion. Pack the Grizzly to have an easier time to find minimum distance of your club. 5.8 bars of backspin with the sniper, and the ball guideline should be going with the final bounce into the hole. Now, for the adjustment, I will be adjusting, in this case, 8.5 rings for 6.1 miles per hour. I'm also using an 1159 pull angle. The thing that I would like you to do, though, is that we need to reduce the adjustment slightly. Maximum distance plus 35 sounds like a lot, and it is a lot, and that should have been 8.3 rings instead of an 8.5 as we did. And I do believe that those 2 lesser rings would make that ball go in the hole, or at least be closer. I'm using a power 2 ball to easier find the minimum distance, and you may be wondering, what do you do if you don't have 5.8 bars of backspin? Then you pick the Guardian. So 5.8 bars of backspin is something that you will have on Sniper level 8+. Otherwise, you go with the Guardian, because then you will have 5.8 backspin all the time. But obviously, the value with the Sniper compared to the Guardian is that you do have a ball guideline to reference in a much easier way. So, in my opinion, really good chance on hole number 4. For hole number 5, we will be playing aggressive, and the thing that with playing aggressive is that you don't really need a berserker ball, but it will simplify it for you a lot. Why would it simplify it for you? It's because you are it's because you are looking to make it as easy as possible here. You do not want to use any overpower. You do want to just use a drive where you can adjust, you can push up, and then play normally. Sure, those of you having a bit more topspin than 6 bars, then you can play with a power 3 ball, as that will kind of be the same. But if having maximum 6 bars, I would recommend to play with a berserker ball. Add max topspin, 2 bar side spin to the right, stretch out to see the ball guideline going through the rough, and once you have done that, you release, you adjust your shot, you push up the amount of rings, which in my case here is going to be 2 rings. But it's very important for you yourself to check how many rings you need to adjust, how many rings you do need to push up. From our drive, that will leave us with a very, very good opportunity. You can see that we have basically dead on straight tailwind, and we're looking to find a spot where we do not have a glitch, meaning that we don't want the ball guideline to show longer, shorter, because then we could risk going into that spot and then we're going to miss just because of that. Ball guideline to the hole, I'm using minimum distance, no elevation here for this shot, and as you can see, we were very close to minimum distance. I pull over bullseye, 2.2 rings is the adjustment that I want us to have. Very important now to be centered, because if we do hit perfect, I would say that if we have adjusted the ball, like the adjustment correct, then we're gonna drop this one for an eagle more times than not. Very nice one, right that pin for a lovely eagle here on hole number 5. Super duper important hole if you're gonna have anything to do with winning the tournament. For hole number 6, I will be using the rock. This to give myself some power, but also especially the accuracy and the ball guideline to make this drive a bit easier. Blue ring by the rough line. I'm using, in this case, 1.5 bar topspin, max side spin to the left. Adjustment is maximum distance plus 10, and then it's time to add some curl. You can see here that I'm adding curl, that the left side of the ball is just outside the adjustment ring to the left. And then trying to hit perfect. No overpower whatsoever here, and we're gonna bounce the ball on the fairway and have it to roll down the fairway as far as possible, I must say, obviously to stay before the rough that comes there in the end. Second shot, no 10% over adjustment here as well. Make sure you do check for a sticky spot, combined with that you do check what type of club distance you are in. So I'm using a little bit of side spin to the left. I'm also using 1 bar of a backspin. You can see here that I'm looking for the sticky spot, and I think I found it. Leaving the ball guideline a little bit short. This because of 2 things. 1, we do have a little bit of tailwind. 2, we adjust up from a lower to a slight higher point, which means that we will gain a little bit of distance. So if we're not gonna come in too hot, we need to leave the ball guideline a bit short of pin. Perfect ball. We bounce nicely on the fairway, and we do have a very nice roll towards the pin, but we are a little bit short in terms of our adjustments. So add a little bit more, make sure you judge the club distance a little bit better than what I did, then you're gonna have a fun time here on hole number 6. For hole number 7, we're gonna play one of my least favorite par 3s in the whole game, and we're gonna start by using 3 bars of side spin to the right, 4 bars of backspin, and now we're looking for half of the transparent ring into the rough on the left, with the ball guideline going through the hole. You can see that on the ball guidelines going through the hole and approximately 2 green squares past the pin. Adjustment here is going to be medium distance plus 10, which is a 4.5 miles per hour for 4.5 rings. Now look at the last key thing here. I'm gonna add some overpower. The ball should be just before the adjustment ring cracks. Very, very important, because that key little thing here, it was make this ball being very close and getting, not very close, we're getting it in front hole in 1, which again, this is one of my least favorite par 3, but this route has actually given me 2 out of 2 hole-in-ones already, and that's why I wanted to show that one in the playthrough to give you the best possible adjustment already from the start. For hole number 8, we have a good chance making an eagle. 4.5 bar topspin, max side spin to the right. If you do have more topspin, use not more than 6 bars in my opinion. Stretch out to see the bullseye being centered on the fairway. Adjust maximum distance plus 10. We push up to max, and then we're gonna go half a ball of curl to the right. Don't forget to add overpower. 3 rings of overpower is what I'm using with an extra mile level 7. If you do have a driver with more power, make sure you do reduce the overpower. As for example, if you're playing with an extra mile level 8 or an apocalypse level 5+. 383 is the yardage, and now we're going to make sure that we are estimating in a good way towards the pin. You can see that we do have almost a straight tailwind, which makes this opportunity even that much better. I'm using 3.8 bars of backspin, no side spin whatsoever. And as I do have the Thorn level 7, I'm gonna have to guess a little bit in terms of how my ball is going to roll out. Obviously, those of you playing with a Hornet 8 plus or with the Thorn 8 plus will have a slight advantage here, but for obviously for those of us having a bit worse ball guideline, we will still be having a decent chance. Now I do play this 175% club, which is in between medium and maximum with no elevation. Even though it says medium distance on the right side, it's to give you some sort of reference. You always need to check the max club, you need to check the minimum distance club to make sure that you do get the correct club distance. In the end though, straight tailwind for the approach, no matter where we end up with our drive in terms of distance towards the pin. This is a super good chance making an eagle on hole number 8. For hole number 9, here I'm going to play a way that you may not think that I should be doing, but I want to simplify the way of getting the eagle as much as possible. So I will be starting with a berserker ball here, using also the rock. And the rock is, in my opinion, needed for myself to give myself an accuracy, but also give myself a ball guideline that I can see approximately where the ball is going to end up if I do it perfect. 2 bars of side spin to the right, and 1.8 bars of topspin is what I wanted to do. I don't want to use 2 bars as for the risk of rolling too far, because there's no need of rolling into the rough here, then the eagle is close to be gone. So we do want to get as close to the rough possible, is the plan at least. 348 yards, I do want to get up to 355 to be completely happy. Now, second shot is going to be played with the Guardian. And here you can see that we are not really close to green in that regard, but we are still going to go for green. Max backspin, 1 bar of side spin to the right. You can see that I stretch out to try to visualize my bullseye to be straight down the fairway middle there. Adjustment is going to be maximum distance, no elevation. And once that is done, I will push up to max. Obviously, we cannot just take the shot now, we do need to add, and I'm gonna add max overpower here. You may be thinking, okay, max overpower will be extremely risky for a great left or a great right. But no, it's not, because we do have a lot of room on that fairway for a great right or a great left, and the backspin will help us to get the ball to stop. And you can see here, sure, we were semi-close making an albatross, but that is not really what I'm going for. I'm going for a safe eagle, and that's the play, or this is the play that I do believe is going to be the best possible way of making an eagle. If you're going to choose a different ball, should you go with a ball that has more wind resistance or less? You want to have a ball with less wind resistance, because the more wind for the second shot, the easier that it's going to be. And obviously having the Guardian level 8 or level 9 will also help, as you do have a bit more power. So this is the safest way, in my opinion, making an eagle on hole number 9 without really taking any type of risks. Thank you so much everybody for watching this playthrough for Pro Division with the tournament win for the Gokasho 9-hole cup. And as it is a 9-hole cup, I'm going aggressive, and that is what is needed to be done, because we do not have that many chances, and if we can get an extra drop by playing a little bit more aggressive with a specific club or with a specific ball, that is the way that I want you to do. The video here is sponsored by Golf Clash and Playdemic. Thank you so much for watching, and good luck in your Golf Clash game.